sir. How are you today?
Thank you so much, Tavis. So glad to join you this morning.
Councilman Koretz, welcome to this program, sir. How are you?
I'm honored to be on your show. I'm still in shock from the events of the last few days.
Marquise Harris Dawson, good morning.
Good morning, Dominique, and good morning to the KBLA family.
Councilmember Heather Hutt, good morning.
Good morning, Dominique.
I am pleased to welcome the new president of the LA City Council, Paul Krikourian. Mr. President, how are you, sir?
Good morning, Tavis. I'm well. Thank you very much.
Holding all politicians accountable to you. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
And they sound so good, it's hard. It's hard to step on the Isley Brothers. They just sound so good. There is only one band in the history of American music that has had a proven influence across the musical spectrum, from the Beatles all the way to rappers like Ice Cube and Biggie Smalls. They've had a hit in 6 straight decades. I'll say it again. They've had a hit in 6 straight decades. From the 50s to the 2000s, this band, the Isley Brothers, one of the most influential bands in American musical history, they've been slaying the game for 6 decades now and show no signs of slowing down. Recently, the Isley Brothers and Beyonce's Make Me Say It Again Girl remake reached #1 on the adult R&B chart, spent 5 weeks at the top spot. And the song, of course, appears on the legendary group's latest album of the same title, released some weeks ago. The album is called Make Me Say It Again, Girl. I am delighted. I've been fortunate in my career to talk to Ron Isley a number of times and the Isley Brothers, and every time I get the opportunity, it just humbles me to know that one more time in my career, I get a chance to engage a public conversation with our dear friend and brother, Ron Isley. Ron, how are you, sir?
Really, really good. You know, we had 8 decades instead of 6.
Yeah.
1959 was Shout.
Right.
That's 63 years.
Mm-hmm. And
today.
And you still doing it. And you still doing it. Let me bring in my brother Ernie Isley as well, because I don't want to leave him out of this conversation. I'm glad to have both of you for the hour. Ernie, how are you, my man?
Hey, I'm good, Tavis. Glad to be here.
It's good to hear your voice, man. What color scarf you wearing today? You know I got to ask, right? What scarf you got on now, man?
Black.
All right, I like that. Ernie, tell me how that got started. I mean, for your fans, we know that whenever we see you, you one of the coldest players ever. And when we see you play, we look in when you walk out on stage to see what you got on. How did that scarf tradition begin, man?
Oh, I think around the time of 3+3, really, with that lady and Summer Breeze and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that was just something that a direction that I went in, and we were all actually dressing more or less the way we wanted to individually.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, Ronald might have on North Beach leather. Marvin might have on something from like Broadway, theatrical. Kelly might have what did Kelly have? He had like a vest, not a vest, a poncho.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he had. Rudolph had the cane.
Yeah.
And Rudolph passed the cane on to Ronald.
Mm-hmm.
So that was more or less the way we went.
Yeah, no, your style has always been front and center, and we love it and celebrate it. And again, I never come to a show without waiting to see what scarf Ernie is going to don tonight, and you always make it work, brother. Ron Isley, you've been at this so long. To your point, 63 years now. You've been at it so long. There are folk who have no idea how the Isley Brothers actually got started. Take me back. How did the group first get together?
Well, my mother and father, put us together. They wanted a group like the Mills Brothers. And that's what they wanted us to last as long as the Mills Brothers. We started doing gospel, and they taught us country and western and pop and R&B and just everything they could teach us. And said, one day that would come in handy, and it certainly did.
Mm-hmm. How would you say, Ron, that your gospel roots all these decades later have influenced the sound of the Isley Brothers that is so inimitable? When we hear it, we know it's y'all. We know your voice, especially. We'll get to that later in this conversation. But how did gospel influence your sound?
Wow, I started off listening to Clara Ward and the Ward Singers with my mother. And seeing them in their shows, and my brother Rudolph seen how they used to woo and do all those things, And we started. My grandmother, just the whole church family, and I learned all these songs. My mother taught me all these songs that they did in the act, and from there I learned Dinah Washington. Then from there I learned Nat King Cole and Clyde McPhatter, and just on and on. And I learned all those songs from all those people, and that was the development. How Nat King Cole would say all his words perfectly. My father wanted us to say our words like that, so they would understand what we were doing. And I've carried that through my career all those years. I want you to understand what I'm saying, even if I can't understand it.
I'm glad to hear that backstory, because it comes through when you sing. We know exactly what you're saying, but to know that influence came from Nat King Cole. I've said many times, Ron, that to my mind, the singers with the best diction, the best enunciation I've ever heard are Nat King Cole and Sam Cooke.
That's right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, just brilliant delivery. You understand every single word, every syllable, frankly, of what they are saying. We're just getting started. Glad I've got them for the hour. It's Ron Isley and Ernie Isley, the Isley Brothers, still at it 6 decades later. It's going to be some fun. We're going to play a lot of music between now and the top of the hour. The Isley Brothers on KBLA Talk 1580.
You've been so good to me. You make me wanna lift my hands up and throw my hands back and kick my heels up and come on now. Take it easy, take it easy, take it easy. A little bit softer now, a little bit softer now, a little bit softer now.
Be sure to like and follow Tavis Smiley at The Real Tavis Smiley and get Twitter updates at Tavis Smiley. The conversation continues when we come forward.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Every day, I bet your floors have shoe grime and pet grime and invisible grime.
Invisible grime?
Yep. The kind of grime that you only notice when you look at your socks.
Ew.
So get Swiffer Sweeper Wet, the cleaning power of a mop with the convenience of a wipe. Sweeper heavy-duty wet pads come prepped with a cleaning solution that traps and locks dirt and grime deep inside the pad, even dirt and grime you can't see, for the clean floors you want, anytime you want it. Swiffer Sweeper heavy-duty wet pads.
I won't thank you.
KBLA Talk 1580 would like to thank all the businesses that tune into KBLA at work. We celebrate you, your calls to the station, and your overall support. To show our appreciation, we would like to treat your office to a lunch for 10, brought to you by K. Michelle's Kitchen Catering. Open the KBLA Talk 1580 app or log on to KBLA1580.com to be selected for our Office of the Week. We know you are just like our staff, putting in many smart, hard-working hours per week. We just want to say thank you, and we appreciate you. You and your staff deserve lunch on us. Enter your office to win lunch for 10 and be highlighted on KBLA Talk 1580 as our Office of the Week. Open the KBLA app or log on to KBLA 1580 to enter your office today to become the KBLA Talk 1580 Office of the Week, sponsored by K. Michelle's Kitchen Catering.com. Become the KBLA Talk 1580 Office of the Week. This has been a KBLA Talk 1580 community call to action. Looking for legitimate political discourse without the bear spray? Tune in and speak out. KBLA Talk 1580.
So many hits, so little time. If I spent 3 hours talking to the Isley Brothers, not just this final hour of today's program, I couldn't squeeze in a scintilla of the hits they've made down through the years. We'll do our best to play some good stuff in this hour. But as I said, so many hits, so little time. You heard Ron Isley say a moment ago that the group formed back in the 50s as a teenage gospel quartet by the eldest four Isley brothers, O'Kelly, Rudolph, Ronald, and Vernon. But that original configuration of the group quit performing when Vernon was tragically killed at age 13 while riding his bike. I assume all these years later, Ron, that's still with you, huh?
Yeah, he was 11. I was 13.
You were 13. I'm sorry. He was 11. That's right.
Yeah, that's with me every day.
Yeah.
Every day. I think about the brothers is not here.
Mm-hmm.
My oldest brother and my youngest brother also was Marvin Isley.
Mm-hmm.
He's not here. So Vernon, Marvin, and O'Kelly Isley. It's not a day that goes by that I don't think about each one of them.
Yeah. To what do you attribute? Ron, the fact that you have been blessed, number one, to still be here, but number two, to still have your voice, and I mean the whole range. Your top register is still there. What do you make of the fact that you're still here and that your voice is still intact?
It's just a gift from God. It has to be just a gift from Jesus Christ that I can sing. And I can. I'm still here.
Yeah.
this is a special gift.
Yeah, yeah. But as as folk age, though, they lose that upper part of their register. How have you protected it all these years?
When I had a stroke years ago, I couldn't sing or talk as fast as I talked before, and I just was so determined to get that back and prayed about it, and it came back, and it's not all the way back, but it's back enough for me to do some of the things that I want to do.
Yeah. Before I go back to Ernie here, since you mentioned the stroke, when you were stricken in that way, how frightened were you, Ron Isley, that you would never be able to do what you were born to do again?
I had no idea. I think I had a very mild stroke, and I had no idea about what it would take away, or I was just determined to, hey, I'm gonna start walking right, and I'm gonna start talking right, and I'm gonna get that back together, And it came back little by little by little by little by little by little. It came back, out of all the prayers and everything, I was blessed to get that back.
Yeah. We are all the better for it, because thank God for Jesus, it did come back, and we are all blessed because of that. Ernie Isley, the one thing I want to say to you, and I want to make sure that I put a real fine point on this. You're not just one of the best and one of the most well known and respected guitarists of all time, but you're also an amazing songwriter. I love lyrics, and I love when I get projects opening up to see what the lyrical content is, who wrote this stuff. I want to know who wrote it. I love and have great respect for songwriters. And everybody knows you and respects you as a guitarist, but I don't think you get the props you deserve for the songwriting. So talk to me about the songwriting part of your journey and what the trick is to writing a song for the Isley Brothers.
Well, the first trick of blessing is being born in a family.
That helps, huh? That helps, I guess.
that goes a long way.
Yeah.
That goes a long way. You watch them and you listen. And, when the time came for me to make a contribution, one was by being a musician, and the other, the songwriting aspect. So one time I was we were in a casino, and the maid was trying to get an autograph, and she said something about how much she loved the Isley Brothers songs, and I said, "Oh yeah, which ones?" And she said, "Footsteps in the Dark." I said, "I wrote that." Voyage to Atlantis. I said, "I wrote that." At Your Best You Are Love. I said, "I wrote that." Fight the Power. I said, "I wrote that." She said, "It's Your Thing." I said, "That's the Biggest Fish. Ronald wrote that." she said, Harvest for the World. I said, "Yeah, I wrote that." At Your Best You Are Love. Yeah. Make Me Say It Again, Girl. I said, "Yeah, I wrote that." And then she said, "Can I have your autograph?" I said, "Okay." Because it turned out she was into the songs,
Yeah.
And it's a funny thing that, the songwriting aspect is foundational to the hits. So if the song is there, then it turns out to be a hit. So Shout,
Yeah.
Ronald is responsible for that. That's a hit. Like I said, It's Your Thing. That's a monster of a hit. So, I've, had a pencil out, a lot of times coming up with the songs. I came up with the first parts of musically Between the Sheets. And Marvin did like 65 to 70% of the lyric.
Yeah.
I did the first part. Hey girl, ain't no mystery, at least as far as I can see. I want to keep you here, laying next to me. sharing our love. And I paused, and Chris said, between the sheets? I said, yeah. Then that was off to the races.
Turn that up, Miles. Turn that up. Well, hold on, Ernie. 1 second.
As far as I can see, I wanna keep you here, laying next to me, sharing our love between the sheets. Ooh, baby, I feel your love surrounding me.
So, Ernie, you're telling me that this hit was written collaboratively, huh?
Yes, but it started with me.
Mm-hmm.
The music.
Mm-hmm.
The music and all started with me, and the opening lyric lines when I played the music, Marvin and Chris were like, "You got any lyric?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah," and I started talking about, "Hey girl, ain't no mystery, at least as far as I could see. I want to keep you here, laying next to me." And then I paused a little bit, sharing our love. And Chris was like, "Between the sheets." I said, "Yeah."
That fits.
And then Marvin virtually did the rest of the song.
Yeah.
And then not too long after that, somebody else picked up a pencil and said, "I love it when you call me Big Papa."
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
And we wrote the entire song. But he's leaning on Isley Brothers.
Yeah.
So when Ice Cube did "Today Was a Good Day" and I didn't have to use my AK,
right?
He was leaning on Isley Brothers with the "Footsteps in the Dark."
Yeah. Let me ask you two questions right quick, Ernie, because it's getting good to me now. First of all, when you're writing, does the music usually come to you first, or the lyric, or it just depends?
It depends.
Yeah.
One time I was in the shower before I was going to Disneyland for the very first time.
Right.
And I started half singing and half reciting "Time Is Truly Wasting," "There's No Guarantee," "Smile Is in the Making," "Fight the Powers That Be." And when I said that, I jumped out the shower and soap went this way and shower curtain went that way and water was everywhere.
Ernie, hold up. I'm trying to get this visual. Never in my life did I imagine I'd hear this story. You're telling me that the song "Fight the Power," I mean, it's a powerful song. "Fight the Power" came to you, Negro, in the shower?
Yeah. Yeah. The first day that we were going with my nieces and nephews and mom and the wives going to Disneyland.
Yeah.
And I was in a good mood that morning, and I just happened to be in the shower and started singing that, reciting it.
But Ernie,
and I realized.
But Ernie, you realize that "Fight the Power" and Disneyland, that don't go together, man.
Well, inspiration's everywhere.
I got it, man.
All the time.
Turn it up, Miles.
Surrounded by inspiration.
Turn it up.
Smiles in the making. We gotta fight the powers that be. I don't understand that. People wanna say, those that got the answers, red tape in the way. I could turn to it easy.
So Ernie, did you finish "Fight the Power" before you went to Disneyland or after you came back from Disneyland?
I pretty much lyrically had the first verse, and I didn't say anything to the brothers about the song maybe for another 2 or 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
We had just finished recording the "Live It Up" album.
Mm-hmm.
We just finished recording a whole album.
Right.
So here was a song potentially that was going to go on the next record.
Got you.
And it turns out to be "Fight the Power," and it was like the cornerstone.
Yeah.
Of The Heat Is On featuring Fight the Power, which had For the Love of You on it.
Oh, yeah.
Which had Make Me Say It Again girl on it.
No, let me ask you one more track. I gotta do news, traffic, and sports in about a minute and a half. Tell me this quick story. We'll continue on the other side and get Ron back involved in this. But you mentioned Footsteps in the Dark. What's the backstory for Footsteps in the Dark, Ernie?
The first instrument I started playing was drums.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm the drummer on that record.
Yeah.
On the song. And that's where it came. It started with the drums, and then it went to, I knew what the bass line would be. Marvin played the bass.
Mm-hmm.
But then I had the guitar part on it. And Footsteps in the Dark was just thoughts about, like it says, are we really sure? Kind of love this lasted for so long, still endure. Do I really care? Hey, let's talk about the distractions going on elsewhere, Then let's stop walking around. Which you can find yourself, you be in a relationship, man.
Oh, yeah.
Find yourself one or the other person or both of them, you walking around. Let's stop doing that. And realize that we have something that we can hold on to.
Footsteps in the Dark, written by Ernie Isley. I'm thrilled that Ernie Isley and Ron Isley with us. You're listening to the Isley Brothers. More when we come forward after news, traffic, and sports on KBLA Talk 1580. You can't fade the Isley Brothers.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where truth prevails. The tricky station is down the dial.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Karen Bass is the first woman and second black person elected as mayor for the city of Los Angeles. The congresswoman defeated billionaire developer Rick Caruso in a tight race. Bass is promising to solve homelessness, prevent crime, and to make LA affordable for working families. Former President Obama is set to make an appearance on The Daily Show with Trevor Noah. Variety reports Obama will appear on tonight's episode at 11 p.m. Eastern. The former president is expected to discuss the Obama Foundation Democracy Forum and issues currently facing the U.S. Suspended Nets star Kyrie Irving is reportedly nearing the end of his team-imposed suspension. According to ESPN, Irving could return to the Nets as soon as Sunday. The Nets banned the 30-year-old on November 4th after he posted links on social media to what some feel is an anti-Semitic movie and initially refused to apologize. And that's the latest. I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
The Sigler continues in downtown LA on the 101 northbound before the 110. 2 middle lanes taken away and traffic is jamming up at 4th Street. 101 north at Vignes, we've got an accident clearing to the right shoulder. In Commerce, an earlier wreck clearing on the 5 south at Slauson. That drive is backed up from Eastern. And making your way in Newhall, 5 north at the 14, a wreck in the Center Divider area.
Is this the tackle? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Rams got some much-needed good news. Quarterback Matthew Stafford has cleared the NFL's concussion protocol and will play in Sunday's game in New Orleans. LeBron James has agreed to co-produce a docuseries on the life of Nipsey Hussle. The docuseries will include interviews with several major players in the music business, including Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, and Diddy. Nipsey was 33 when he was fatally shot in 2019 outside one of his stores in South LA. Today could be a game-changing moment for UCLA athletics. The UC Board of Regents are meeting today to vote on whether or not they should block UCLA's move to the Big Ten Conference. UCLA is joining USC to move to the Big Ten in 2024. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. This sports report was brought to you by MVP Accident Attorneys. When it comes to your settlement, we're a slam dunk. Call 833-MVP-WINS or check their website at themvp.com for a free case review.
When you're the victim of a car accident, hiring the right law firm can be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for your free consultation.
Call on me, your MVP.
This Black Friday, we're checking everyone off your list with unbeatable deals at Ulta Beauty all week long. Starting November 20th, shop hundreds of exciting deals in store and online. And beginning Tuesday, get $12 mascaras from brands like Benefit and $10 lippies from brands like Fenty, and so much more. Because our kind of holiday is you having your kind of holiday. So what are you waiting for? Hurry to an Ulta Beauty near you or buy online and pick up in store. Ulta Beauty. The possibilities are beautiful.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Maisha Cairo here with a quick recap from my time at JP Morgan Chase's Advancing Black Wealth Tour. There were speakers Ian Dunlap, Damon John, Lynn Richardson, MC Light, Dom Kennedy, to name a few. Take a listen to what Justin Grant, Community Development Lead at Chase's Advancing Black Pathway, let's see what he had to say.
So I'm Justin Grant. I lead community development and national partnerships for JP Morgan Chase's Advancing Black Pathway strategy. And so we're focused on strengthening the economic foundation of black communities, and we're making targeted investments in programs like the Advancing Black Wealth Tour to help us get our tools and resources out to the community to drive sustained impact over time.
So when it comes to black and brown people, it sounds like Chase is making it their personal responsibility, not only to facilitate these events, but to educate and provide resources. So Mr. Grant, I have to ask, what does wealth building look like for the individual?
It's home ownership, it's having that freedom to be able to start your own business and create jobs in your community, and it's having that long-term plan towards retirement, having that vision for what you want your life to be, and you have the resources to actually live it.
I'm Maisha Cairo. Thanks for sticking around. That was my recap from Chase's Advancing Black Wealth Tour. First stop was here in LA, and they're taking it national.
Extra, extra, read all about it, read all about it, read all about it.
In recent editions of the Los Angeles Standard newspaper, read about HBCU's impact in Los Angeles, the Screening Room LA meeting at the Gathering Spot West Adams, giving black filmmakers a place to showcase their work, to codename Crenshaw Boulevard Malcolm X Boulevard. Hotville Chicken brings Nashville hot chicken to the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Plaza. The Engineer Factory, preparing black children for STEM majors and professions. Jan Perry addressing the homelessness and housing crisis as she runs for Congress. Shauna Charles' career in public relations. Local black hiking groups. And Los Angeles Philharmonic Inglewood headquarters hosting free music classes for local children. Read about these stories at lastandardnewspaper.com. And follow this black-owned publication on Facebook and Instagram.
Headlines, headlines, have you heard it? Have you heard it? Have you heard it? Have you heard it? Have you heard it?
Looking for legitimate political discourse without the bear spray? Tune in and speak out. KBLA Talk 1580.
So Ron Isley, let me tell you a story right quick while Miles lets that thing ride. Speaking of riding, I was in DC one night and I had to give a speech the next morning. I finished my show on BET late one night and had to give a speech at a breakfast the next morning in Philadelphia. There was a very, very, very famous, well-known African-American male whose name I'm not going to call, but one of the most famous persons in this country, who was in D.C. and was also headed to Philadelphia. I gave this brother a ride in my SUV. We were driven to Philadelphia, and it rained, horrible rain. all the way from D.C. to Philadelphia. And this song came on the radio. No, the brother driving had a CD, had an Isley Brothers CD. And this song came on. And I'm sitting next to this brother in the back seat, and he starts crying like a baby. And he wasn't just crying, it went from crying to just wailing. And I didn't know what had happened. And it turns out that his girlfriend had just broken up with him. And he was just emotionally just spent. And this song comes on, I Once Had Your Lovin' Baby, and I Can't Let Go. And this Negro he just lost it. And I kid you not, he cried all the way from D.C. to Philadelphia. And we just played this song over. He just wanted to hear it again, over and over. It almost felt like torture on a certain level. But that night, I must have heard this song 30,000 times between D.C. and Philadelphia. And I have never forgotten that night. I love the song, particularly the part which I just talked over that says maybe we should fly away to L.A. And of course, I live here in L.A., and this station's flagshipped in L.A. But I wonder, having said that, whether or not you ever have time or give thought to the way your songs, your styling, your lyrics impact people's lives emotionally, much less all the babies y'all have created. Well, when people hear your stuff, man, it impacts their lives, man. This song just made this brother he just lost it, Ron.
Wow. That's amazing, man. You know, I'm always thinking about songs. It was a song that I heard by Roberta Flack.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, That's the Time I Feel Like
Making Love to You, yes.
And this song put me in the mind of that. I wanted to do a record that had that same type of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the song that we chose that had that same type of feeling with me. You know, with everything that you do, with us, you're always listening to what's going on around you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And, listening at what entertainers and what else is exciting that someone else is doing. And you'll hear something someone else is doing, and you want to top that.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a record Marvin Gaye did, Sexual Healing.
Mm-hmm.
And we wanted to top that. And that's where In Between the Sheets came up for me.
Mm-hmm.
When I first heard it. First I heard the music for it. And I said, we got to top that record.
Yeah.
You know, and that's when Ernie and them started putting the words together, him and Marvin.
Yeah.
You know, and after it was done, I must have played that record 1 million times to myself. And then Marvin Gaye heard it. And I called him up and said, hey, wait till you hear this, his record was already a number one and all over.
Mm-hmm.
And he heard In Between the Sheets, and he said, wow, and, we were sad. I was personally satisfied for that.
Yeah. Yeah. How would you, I don't know that you can put this into words, Ron, and let me ask it anyway, and just let you do the best you can with it. But part of what just kills me every time you sing, is not just that falsetto, that upper register, but it's your phraseology. You talked earlier about your dad encouraging you to make sure that people understood exactly what you were saying, and we do. But how would you describe the Ron Isley sound, the way you phrase your words? I mean, do your best. How would you describe that?
You mentioned another person, Sam Cooke.
Yeah.
I listen to Sam Cooke a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Ray Charles, when I was coming up, Ray Charles, the feeling that, Ray Charles gave to the songs that he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And Aretha Franklin. When I'm singing, I hear all those people. I hear those people on certain verses and certain parts that I want to bring out in the song.
Mm-hmm.
I know if I say it clear enough, when we're doing For the Love, was thinking about Nat King Cole and Sam Cooke and all those people, and I wanted to bring that lyric across and the feeling from that lyric across, just as they did.
Yeah.
In the day.
Yeah. So Ernie, when you joined the band in 1973, is that right? If my memory serves me correctly, about 73, is that right?
Well, on the cover, but I'm the bass player on the record. It's Your Thing.
Right. So when you come into your own, how did you process stepping into this band that had already established itself? What did you think you were bringing? What did you think your mandate was when you joined the group back in the in the early 70s?
I didn't know.
Yeah. I hear you.
I didn't, like it was, I mean, we were just collectively pursuing the music. So that, say like one day I came into Ronald's house and he was sitting at the piano playing this 4-note chord in the right hand. And he wasn't playing it in tempo. He was playing it rather slow. And Chris was with me, and he said, Chris, sit down and play this. And Chris started playing in tempo. What he was playing were the chords to work to do. Okay. I heard it for the first time, and it's like, that's a hit. And, that was a part of the pursuit of the music. And I was still learning how to play a guitar. By the time we did That Lady, I'd been playing guitar like 4.5 years. I caught on fast, but it was a thing of like personal discovery, personal growth.
Yeah.
And then when we got to the song, it turned out that the song was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And say That Lady was the last song performed vocally on the 3+3 album.
Yeah. Let me pivot right quick. I'm watching my time here. Let me pivot right quick, Ernie, and play a little bit of a track that I love. This is not an Isley Brothers record, but it's Jasper Isley. I want to ask you about this right quick. Play some of that, Miles. I love this. Ernie, you said earlier that the blessing started with being born in the family. Jasper Isley is still family. I love this song, Ernie.
Yeah, Caravan of Love, that's Chris's idea, Chris's song. Marvin and I assisted with the music as well as the lyrics. And it turned out, it came out and it was a hit. It went number one.
No.
But it's all, still under the same banner of being Isley Brothers.
Oh yeah.
I thought that if the Isley Brothers had done it as big as it was, it probably would have been bigger.
Yeah.
But it was still Isley.
No, it's still Isley, and I don't know how much bigger could it have been because it was a huge hit. I love it. Turn it up. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about. Good thing we've got 3 hours. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
Our Weekly Los Angeles is the largest audited black newspaper in the state of California with a distribution of over 50,000 copies weekly. Pick up a copy every Thursday to get the latest news on African American communities of LA. You can also keep up with what's going on in Los Angeles and surrounding cities by going to www.ourweekly.com. The Our Weekly website is updated daily with the current news about us and for us. For your advertising needs, Our Weekly offers economical advertising packages to fit your budget. Feel free to call Our Weekly Los Angeles at 323-905-1300 or visit the website at www.ourweekly.com. Our Weekly Los Angeles, reporting news that matters to you.
Sanctuary of Hope invites you to come out, support Homeless Youth Awareness Month at a candlelight, interfaith prayer, and youth voice reflections, Tuesday, November 29th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. For more info, visit thesoh.org. Did you know a housing crisis puts young people at huge risk of more violence and trauma? And right now, young people and their children need support more than ever. Prevention services such as financial assistance, education, employment support, and mental health well-being are main drivers of impact. Contact thesoh.org for more information. Did you know an estimated 4.2 million youth and young adults experience homelessness, of which 700,000 are unaccompanied minors? The pathway to functional zero is prevention. More info at thesoh.org. Again, thesoh.org.
Let's unpack a little bit more with Tavis Smiley. The conversation continues right now.
Ron Isley, tell me about this this remake with Beyonce. It sounds awfully good, brother.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite songs, man. I think I always tease Ernie about that song was sent to him from heaven. I was so happy to do that song when we first recorded it, because I could show off my whole style of singing, and that's when I started getting into doing some of the Sam Cooke and all those things that you'll hear in that song.
Yeah. Ernie, what's it like, Ernie, when you hear a song that you put your funk on, put your stank on it, it gets redone, and with Beyonce no less, and it still sounds just as good?
Well, she sort of raised the bar, and then she jumped over it. I started calling her since that time. I've been referring to her as Beyonce Bravo.
Oh, okay.
She has grown in terms of her skill and her ability, and that song, the duet, shows that. It demonstrates that precisely, just how far she has come. And between that and the fact that it's a Isley Brothers song, man, I mean, that's like dessert. Every time I hear it, it's like, cake and ice cream or something in my ears.
Yeah.
It's very well done. And it although we did it first in '75, it's brand new.
Yeah.
When you hear with the duet, it's like it's a brand new song, and that's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. Let me ask you this question, Ernie. I've asked this question of a few others, and I've been around some great songwriters, as you know, in my career. I've been fortunate to interview just about everybody, and I've asked this question of my late friend Prince. I've asked this question of Smokey Robinson, some of the great. I've asked this question of just some great songwriters down through the years, like yourself. To your point about this song first being done in '75 and Beyonce, raising the bar and, as you said, jumping over it. What, to your mind, Ernie Isley, makes a great song? What is a great song?
Oh, you know it when you hear it. If you hear it the first time, you'll know it. And I think I could say an example of that. When we were working on the song, which turned out to be "Caravan of Love," back around 85, I was switching radio stations driving in the car.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, I hit a button, and I heard somebody say, "You get good love, baby. You get it. You." I said, "Whoever that is, that's a hit."
Mm.
Now, they didn't say who it was, but that was all I heard. They didn't pronounce who it was. Turned out it was Whitney Houston.
Of course.
But something like that, you can tell. You can tell when you hear a song the first time. When we played Working on 3+3, Rudolph said, Bill Withers was in the studio with us.
Mm.
And Rudolph said, put up That Lady. And they put it up on the board, and they cranked it. And it sounded like we were playing live. And when the record started, he was literally backing up. And his back hit the wall when the guitar said, and his eyes got big. He said, "Oh my God, what are y'all getting ready to play?" And when that he said, "Boy, that is a smash." Yo, that's truly a smash. See, you something cold.
Yeah, and when you can do that to Bill Withers, you know you got a hit on your hands. Speaking of great songwriters, our remaining moments with the Isley Brothers, Ron and Ernie, when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to gear with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
Drop it!
When you tune in to KBLA Talk 1580, we want you to know what you're downloading.
Now, you listen to me, and you listen to me closely.
In a recent African-American media issue survey conducted by the public opinion research and public policy consulting firm Eviteris, KBLA Talk 1580 was found to be the most trusted, credible, and reliable source on the airways for Black Los Angeles and beyond.
Check it out.
We take our role seriously as your trusted messenger. At KBLA Talk 1580, it's about truth, not ratings. And when you hear us say, when we come forward, we mean it.
That's the bottom line.
We're not going back. Not to the back of the bus, not to back alleys, not back in the closet, and definitely not back to the good old days.
Might as well forget it. No way.
We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
East West Players brings you the stage play Brothers Paranormal by Prince Gomovilas, directed by Jeff Liu, November 17th through December 11th. After a nationwide increase in sightings of Asian-looking ghosts, two Thai brothers, one from Thailand and one from the American Midwest, struggle to launch a ghost hunting business and are called to the home of an African-American couple displaced from Hurricane Katrina. This suspenseful, humorous, compassionate exploration of the trauma of leaving home, whether crossing the country, the globe, or the other side, is a play for everyone. Get tickets now through December 11th at eastwestplayers.org. eastwestplayers.org.
Conversations that matter. You're listening to Tavis Smiley on KBLA Talk 1580.
I've only got about 3 minutes left in this conversation, which I have enjoyed immensely, and I thank and love dearly Ernie and Ron Isley for coming to see me today and talk to us in this career conversation. So here's my exit question for you, Ron. What do you love about this new album? Make me say it again, girl.
Well, I love the idea that we did certain things with the rappers. If you listen, we did a song with Quavo and Takeoff,
Mm-hmm.
and in the studio we were so proud of that song, and it was supposed to go in their album. And I asked them, I said, I want to put this in my album, and they said, long as we do a video together.
Mm-hmm.
And we laughed about that, and we never got that chance to do the video that we would have done,
Yeah.
I'm so proud of that album. We did something with 2 Chainz. The song was written by Pooh Bear. he wrote all those hits for Justin Bieber.
Oh yeah.
You know, and we did songs with 1500. We did songs with Scott Storch.
Mm-hmm.
We did songs with did a song with we did a song with The Great Escape. We did that song with Trey Songz.
Yeah. No, there's some great collaborations on this thing, man. There are collaborations all over this thing. It just shows y'all's range and how y'all can work with anybody and make anybody sound good. And I'm loving the new album. Ernie will give you the last word here. 6 decades and running. How much longer y'all gonna do this, man?
Well, we've had a lot of divine grace that has carried us this far. And, you know, I have fingers crossed and sent prayers up for it to continue indefinitely.
Mm.
So
there's your answer. There's your answer. Indefinitely.
That's the only bow I'm gonna put on that. That's the only bow I'm gonna put on that for it to continue indefinitely.
There you go.
Because we're having a great time.
You are having a great
time, and it's a marvelous thing that we've been, by divine grace, able to accomplish.
You're having a great time, and you sound amazing, and indefinitely is a word that every one of your fans, including yours truly, wants to hear. Keep on doing what y'all do, and only in the way that y'all can do it. Ron Isley, Ernie Isley, I love you both, and there ain't nothing y'all can do about it. I just love you.
Thank you, Tavis.
All right. Y'all stay strong, man. Good to have you on. That is our show for today. Hope you enjoyed it just half as much as I did. From Karen Bass, the mayor-elect of Los Angeles, to the Isley brothers. Y'all don't want none of this. This is KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Russia is taking Brittany Griner to a penal colony at an undisclosed location. This is according to Reuters.com. Griner was sentenced to 9 years in a penal colony on drug charges in August. That came after she was arrested at an airport in Moscow with rape cartridges in her luggage. A series of possible hate crimes are under investigation at 3 Northern California schools. School officials in Santa Clara County said a doll with a dark complexion was found hanging